Lock them out. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here, and we are talking about some of the best champions in the game today and easy ways to build them. I'm very excited about this because this weekend I got freaking Yumiko, and that is I'm still in shock about that. I'm still in shock. She was one of the top champions that I wanted on my account. Like, I'm actually glad I got her and not Warlord. I'm just so pumped about it, okay? And that got me thinking about builds for her and Warlord and Basher, which are the three main champions who have this putting people's skills on cooldown ability. I think that those are the only three, correct me if I'm wrong, but those are the three that stand out to me as the main ones, okay? You're going to see Yumiko and Warlord a lot in your arena teams, and I've actually been noticing Basher a lot there as well. The great thing about Yumiko is that she increases the cooldown of all enemy skills by 3 turns. So that gives you all the time that you could ever need in the world. Warlord, his ability just literally puts the skill on cooldown. So if it's a 6-turn cooldown, it's going for the full 6 turns. You know what I mean? So Warlord is technically better, but I am more excited about Yumiko than Warlord. Granted, I would love to have a Warlord again. I did have him on my original account, and he was amazing. I want to say he was the second Void Legendary that I got, but I don't know. I just remember having him for the majority of the time that I played on that account. But, you know, that's old news. And then the third one is going to be from my favorite faction, Skinwalkers. And he is an epic, so obviously he's not quite as good, but he increases the cooldown of their skills by 2 turns, okay? And so, obviously, Basher is not as good because the kit surrounding him is not as good, right? With Warlord, you get that shield and heal ability. With Yamiko, you get the reset the abilities of your champions, like Kymar. And with Basher, you get a 4-hitter that does block buffs and a single hitter that does weaken. Admittedly, it is HP in all battles aura. Admittedly, it is. Okay, so there's that. But it's not the best, okay? But for a lot of you did get a Basher this weekend in 2x Voids, and so I thought, all 3 of these are Void champions. I just got her. I thought it would be a pertinent video for a lot of people. So let's jump into it, okay? Let's start with the Basher build because I feel like my Basher build is very accessible. I did not go overboard. It's not like I'm trying to use him competitively in Arena. This is just the build that I use for Faction Wars, and I'll show you the Arena team that I still use him in as well. I never noticed he only has 2 fingers. He only has 2 fingers and 1 thumb. I never noticed that. Anyway, I also never noticed that he had spikes on his tusk. Okay, well, it's the details, guys. It's the details. So, anyway, Basher, very amazing, cool champion, okay? So, I have him at 245 speed, 427 accuracy. That is the only important stats, okay? For your first build for any of these champions, the thing that you're probably going to build is just speed and accuracy. So the way that I did that was with random attack percentage gloves that at some point I used on a War Mother, okay? It's a crazy amount of accuracy and a little amount of speed in speed set. It's one of the 5-star pieces I've kept on my account because it's good. And then we also have a 5-star accuracy chest with speed rolls. We have a double accuracy on the amulet, and we have an accuracy banner. We don't have any accuracy on the boots. We have a little bit of accuracy and speed, and like this is a very common type of a piece that you would be looking for on your account for champions like this. Similar to this one, except we wish there was accuracy. And then over here, this is going to be a very common thing as well, where you just have like single rolls, okay? Now, Basher is an attack-based champion. He does do good damage, so all of those extra attack rolls that we're getting there, that's actually going to help him do more damage for you. I think I have him in defensive here. Yeah, this is just like a random ring that I threw on him. This might be some kind of ring that you would use as well because it has good substats, but it didn't roll well, especially if you don't have a lot of choices on your account. I didn't go change the build, you know, for the video. This is the build that I have been using for a long time. Admittedly, I don't use Basher that often, but I will show you where I use him, okay? Now, most of you, I can't, like, show you a Warlord build, so I'm going to show you Kymar instead. But let's go ahead and start with Yumiko first, because I literally just built her, okay? Now, this is more of a late game build. I wouldn't say this is an end game build because an end game build would be better than this, okay? And you can see that I actually have 2 offset pieces. I have a speed set and I have a perception set. Ideally, I would be getting her in 6-piece perception at these speeds or greater, and then her accuracy would be higher than this, okay? Now, you're going to see some really nice pieces of gear here, but I'm still going to tell you this is not an endgame build. Like, this is not good enough to hit everybody in platinum. Not even close. This is not good enough to hit everybody in gold 3v3. It's close, but it's not enough. So I'm going to be working on her build, but I'll show you all the pieces here, okay? We have a triple accuracy with a strong glyph and some speed. This is the type of piece that I'm looking for, okay? I need more of these, right? The gloves are okay. The gloves are defensive, which is nice, and they have a double accuracy roll, which is nice, but I need to, number 1, I need to upgrade the glyph, and number 2, I need to find a replacement that has speed instead of something like the resistance or HP. Okay, but we're going to get back to the resistance in a second, okay? Now, I do have a really nice chest piece here. I have a max glyph. I used this on my Arbiter for the longest time, and now I've switched over to using it on high accuracy champions now that I have more options for my gear. And it is a wonderful chest piece, don't get me wrong. It is a wonderful chest piece. However, I do want to get the accuracy set bonus from the perception set. That's why I'm looking to replace it. The shield is pretty good as well because it's got max glyphs here. But again, it's only so good. It's only so good. I want these stats in perception to get that set bonus as well. Now, the helmet, you're going to yell at me in the comments, but this is the one that I'm using, okay? It is a quad speed roll. Did I get a new glyph this morning? I did. Okay, so let's go ahead and glyph this right now. Yes! Yes! Streamer luck! That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. I also got an accuracy one. Oh my freaking goodness! Just for the video. You know what? Let's just go all in. Okay. It had to end somewhere, right? It had to end somewhere. Let's go again. Let's just see if we can just max it all out. Oh my goodness! And then this one, the most we can get is 5. Wowzers. Okay, well, you know, I know that it's not going to happen that way for everybody, but okay, so that made the build better. But like, okay, so even if I did not have a quad speed roll and not max glyphs, I could still replace this in perception and it be very good. Okay, I still could. And then the other offset piece is a pair of boots with triple accuracy and a max glyph. I had these on my Valkyrie for the longest time when I was using her in my arena teams and not PvE. Now I have Valkyrie built more for PvE than for arena, but I've been thinking about coming back to that. So anyway, that's where I'm at with this build. Let's see the updated build here. 272 is much better, And then the amulet, I do have a triple accuracy roll. I'm very thankful for that because I have very few triple accuracy rolls on amulets. The ring is also strong, and the banner is kind of embarrassing. My banner situation for Shadowkin is actually terrible. It's actually terrible. I've been like actually trying to farm more because like these are the other options. Like these don't even have speed. Okay, and if you look at the other ones on my account, they're just as bad. Like look at this one, just as bad, slightly better maybe, but you know, I'm fine with staying that on Ninja. Okay, like the Lady Kimmy one you would think is better. It's not. The best one I actually have is this one, but I chose the higher accuracy and the less speed. So I really need some more banners. All the other ones are the same as that too. So, and then another thing that you want to keep in mind with champions like this is adding more accuracy with the Evil Eye Mastery, with Pinpoint Accuracy, with Charged Focus, and with Swarm Smiter, okay? Also, putting on Lore of Steel is going to give you more accuracy, more speed, all of that as well, okay? These are the masteries that I have. Am I hiding anything? I'm not, okay? But this is a great way to get more accuracy on your champions, is getting masteries, okay? With Basher, I don't have masteries on him, so he could be easily improved. But I wanted to show you and highlight the main difference between like a mid-game build and a late-game build. Let me show you the Kymar for reference. The difference here is a lot more speed and more accuracy. But again, this is a build that I'm still working on as well. I mean, it does have some really good pieces in here. Like the quad accuracy is one of the best pieces, if not the best piece on my account. I don't know, that helmet on Yumiko might now be the best piece on my account. That's pretty bomb. So anyway, that's your concept for building the most of these champions. That's step one. After you have that build, then you can change it into some other builds. And let me explain, okay? One of the other builds that is very common is to try to replicate those stats while putting them in a set like Stone Skin, okay? Or putting them in a set like Swift Parry can work, but that's not the main one. Immunity, okay? Immunity, I feel like, is way less good now that Stone Skin is in the game. But some people still have very good immunity gear, and that is one way to build them, okay? Another way to build these champions that is an endgame build, which I don't think I can manage yet, but I haven't really tried, would be putting them in a high resistance build, okay? High resistance with still a decently high accuracy. That way they cannot get debuffed. I think for me, I would rather do Stone Skin if I was trying to get them not debuffed, but the high resistance does prevent their skills being put on cooldown from other Yumikos and Warlords. Okay, so I wanted to mention that, but I don't have a build to show you there. Okay, now let's take a look at some options about where we should use these champions. Okay, the main place that you're going to use them is Arena. And the main type of team that you're going to use them in is going to be a speed team, okay? Now, I don't think that you need Necrit here. This is just the team that I'm using right now, so you can see it. Let me just make sure Yumiko prioritizes this. And Baron oh, no, I already have Baron's priority. Okay, great. Now, I think that Necrit in this team, you know what? Why don't we just put someone else in here? But see, you're going to be probably mad at me because it's a Kymar. But whatever. You want somebody in here for crowd control. Okay, you want somebody in here for crowd control. And the great thing about Baron, which I don't think I've had him in a video yet. The great thing about Baron is that he's going to ignore so much of shields, defense, block damage, and then he's in Savage as well, so you don't really need decreased defense. All you need is to strip them and then put their skills on cooldown. So Prince Kymar, he does not have to be Prince Kymar, guys. It could easily be Vizix. I just don't have anyone speed tuned with my team to be like this, okay? So whatever the speed of your Arbiter is, you want your Yumiko, your crowd control to be speed tuned with them, okay? Most of you will be in the 340, 330 range, in which case 260 speed is probably enough. You can always use the arena calculator, but some people find that difficult. Basically, if you ever get interrupted, and there's not a reason why, if it's just the speed and you get cut in on, then you just increase the speed until you don't get cut in on anymore, okay? Like, if they have Hedgie and you get locked out, obviously, that makes sense. If they have a Valkyrie, that makes sense. But if there's no reason and they get cut in, then you know something's wrong. And there we go, okay? So, why did that work, okay? Why did that work? That really had nothing to do with Yumiko there, because they didn't get a turn, right? And so, a lot of people would not bother putting Yumiko in this team. However, if Baron doesn't kill them for some reason, then that gives you an opportunity to still win right there. Now, let's see if Baron kills them. Okay, he does. He's been pretty great. He's been pretty great. But there's always a possibility that people are going to not die. Is there a tankier team? I don't know. Let's try this one. There's a good possibility that some of these people will be in Stone Skin. Okay, they're not. Okay. Well, if they are in Stone Skin, that's a great reason to have a skill cooldown champion in your team. Okay? Now, another way to use your skill cooldown champions would be in a team like my first team here. Okay? And then instead of the Hegemon, we would use Yumiko. Okay? And the reason for this is because she's going to be very fast, and you want a survivable team that's going to kind of grind it out. Okay, this is a very common team here. Duchess, Yumiko or Warlord, Saris, and then Candrafon or whoever nuker you want to use. All right, now we might not go first here, but if we don't, it should still be okay. We do. We put their skills on cooldown. We don't get debuffed because Duchess has resistance. We don't die because their skills are on cooldown. If the biggin was built better, it would probably be an issue. But he's not. And then we can kill them. Okay? Now, obviously, this is not like a crazy team that we're fighting against. But you do get the idea. Do we have like a better team? Not really. I don't know. We can try any of these teams is fine, because the goal here is that we're still going to go first, but we're not a speed team. Okay? It's still a go first team. We still want to go first, but our goal is targeting these high resistance teams. We didn't get the fear proc, which is fine, but we're still fine. That was cool to see the blessing in action, though. Candrafon's battling each other out. Now, Yumiko specifically, you can also use against Baumel. I have yet to try that because I just got her. But the other place that you would want to use these types of champions, the other main place is going to be Doom Tower. Okay? Now, I am oh man, I'm so excited about this team. So this is going to be my normal Doom Tower team now. And yes, you can do this with 2 Renegades if you don't have either of the legendaries. But a lot of you have the legendaries, okay? And a lot of us don't have the dupes, but we do have single copies, right? So the goal here with this team, and then we'll wrap it up here, because I know it's getting a little bit long, but I wanted to be thorough. The goal of this team here is to have 2 resets, okay? But if you have Yumiko, you want her to be in the second one. You know what I mean? We don't want to use her reset ability right away. We want to use that on wave 3, because on wave 3, that is where a lot of times we get into trouble with the other team getting their abilities, okay? And Yumiko is going to put their skills on cooldown and reset the skills of our cooldown. Now, if you only have Yumiko and you don't have a Kymar, or you don't have who else could it be? If she's your only reset champion, I want to say, then you could use her on wave 1 and just manual wave 3. I've done that a million times with just Kymar, okay? But if you do have 2 reset champions, you want her to reset on the last wave. You want her to reset here, because she's going to, again, put their skills on cooldown. Also, she works really well with Kymar there because she doesn't wake them up. And we're going to clear the wave here with Seer. There we go. Okay. So, I wanted to mention this because I think this is one of her primary uses. Okay. This is one of her primary uses. If you have her slower, she can go, like, everybody in your team can go and she can go last. I don't recommend that, though. I recommend you use her in a high speed version, but if you have good reasons to do anything, then that's enough, right? That's enough. If you have a good reason, then that's reason enough. So keep that in mind. I just wanted to watch a clean run here where we just clear every wave. Okay. Aw, so close. Now, I do want to mention briefly here, I think that putting blessings on Seer, we got 3% resist there, but that's fine. I do think putting blessings on Seer is a good idea, and she is one of the people who is a high priority for me, because in situations like that where we don't land a decreased defense or a weaken, or there's other factors, I think that it's great to have this blessing here where we are ignoring a percentage of the target's defense. Okay, so that's my plan for her. As for Yumiko, I'm not certain what blessing that I'm going to take on her. It might just be intimidating presence. It might just be intimidating presence. But I think that I want to take one that is going to give me some accuracy. That's what I think. And maybe also speed. So if you have blessings, I was thinking about doing temporal chains on her. That's going to give us speed and accuracy, but that you have to get to level 4. So anyway, I haven't fully decided what blessing would be best for her, but that's the one that I'm leaning towards. That's the one that I'm leaning towards. So what do you think about that? I also think that the polymorph could be good as well. But you're not gonna get any additional accuracy there. So that's the one that I'm leaning towards. Would be the what did I say? Would be the temporal chains. Thank you, temporal chains. Okay, but anyway, I don't have a blessing for her at the moment. She's not awakened. So, what do you think? Was this helpful to you? Let me know in the comments below, and tell me where you are using your cooldown champions, Warlord, Yumiko, and Basher. Tell me where you're using them. Oh, I forgot to mention the Basher team. I told you I would do that. Okay, let me get that real quick, and then we'll wrap up the video here. For my for my dailies, use a team from the same faction and use a team that's all the same affinity. I do this team here. The win rate is not great, but that's just the team that I use. I need to replace one of the Coronars with something else. I'm just showing you where I use Basher because it does help me get some wins, because Basher is faster. All right, I don't have a speed aura, but a lot of times he's still fast enough to put their skills on cooldown. Like if I was running it against this team, would be a good team that I would choose because he's probably faster than everybody on that team. So anyway, that'll do it for me here today. I'm MtgJedi. I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to me in the comments below and share this with somebody who you think it will help. There we go. Skills on cooldown, then they're all dead. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I don't remember what opener I used. I'm going to end with the new opener, even though it's the opener. So shout out to videobolt.net. Link in the description if you want to make these kind of things. We got the Halloween UFO. Bye, guys.